Welcome back to another Pokemon Falling Friday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Friday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. We do also cover big Pokemon news, like card sets to get revealed, and we do have to do the question of the day. What is your all-time favorite dog Pokemon? And you could not pick a legendary. And we do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsor, and that is COLLECTR. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. No other app even compares. I've tried every single one of them. The closest app maybe has 1/10 of the amount of cards and products that COLLECTR actually has. And they're always trying to improve too by adding new cards, boxes, and features. So let us know down below if there's anything you want them to add or fix. And you can also use them on desktop. The website works super good. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. Then, of course, you guys want to try out tag for your first time. Click the link, use the code BEARD102. You get 10% off your first submission. And same thing with PSA. Click the link, use the code BEARD25, and you get $25 off your first submission. And you just got to use a new email for that every time. And then if you guys could do me a massive favor and download the FANATICS Collect app, there's going to be 10,000 people that watch this video, and I only have 354 followers on there. So please go download the FANATICS Collect app, and then you can go to live, and then go to originals, and then you can type in Pokebeard, and you can find my channel. Give me a follow there. I post every Market Monday and Falling Friday, hours before I post on YouTube, Thursday and Sunday, 7 p.m. Central. And I do a giveaway every single video where I'm actually live in the chat, and you guys can ask me questions. So if you guys like What If Wednesday, definitely check it out. It's a super fun way for us to chat live. And it is completely free, so I hope to see you there. But all right, let's get into it. We got Poke Beach. So we got a new Charizard Collector's Figure Box release in China featuring Jumbo Charizard figure and card. What's cool about it is it's the actual stance from the base set Charizard. I want this thing. This thing is sick. I've actually mentioned this before. I don't know how we haven't got like a really good statue of this, but it says it's going to be about $116. It'll include a Jumbo Holo card of Charizard, which is sweet, from the 30th celebration, a sculpted figure of Arita's artwork, and 15 booster packs of 30th celebration. So this box is going to be super sick. I hope we get it in English, but you never know. All right, let's get into it. We got quite a bit of stuff going down still. So we have the Destin Rivals booster box. Was at $638 now? About $438. Looks like the low is about $420. Oh no, we got one at $415, but nothing really over $435. Next, we have Pitch Black. Was at $292. Now $178, $161, $170. I've been hearing a lot of people selling their booster boxes right around MSRP, the ones that have, distribution. Next, Chaos Rising was at $240. Now $179, $161, $173. And we have the Lost Origin booster box. Was at $805. Now $719, $725, and $705. Next, Obsidian Flames was at $398. Now $340, $364, $359, so slowly dropping. And we have the Paradox Rift booster box, a set no one ever talks about. Was at $295. Now last sold $275, $284, $270. Still think this is one of the best all-around sets variety-wise, because we got our normal SIRs like Altaria, then you got the ones with the crowns, you got a little bit of everything, and it has the second most illustration out of any set. Next, we have the 151 ETB. Was at $665, dropped down to $595 in June, went back up to $622, and now last sold $568, $550. We have one high one at $679, which makes 0 cents. Almost every other sale is right between $550 and $560. Next, we have the Celebrations ETB. Was at $498. Now $359, $352, a couple more at $367. Next, the Pitch Black regular ETB. Last sold $65, $69, $63. Going at $47, but I'm guessing it had, expensive shipping. But we finally got some ETBs in the $60s. Next, Destin Rivals. Was at $207. Now $125, $120. Pretty much all at $125. And remember, this ETB 6 months ago in April was $276. And now you can grab it for $120. Not bad. Next, the Paldean Fates ETB was at $544, now $443, $445, and one high one at $450. Next, we have the Obsidian Flames ETB was at $322, now $264, $275, and $265. Next, the Ascended Heroes ETB was at $202, now $163, $169, and $165. This is definitely dropping a lot slower than all the other ETBs. Next, we have the Crown Zenith Pokemon Center ETB, was at $600, now $534, $500, $491. And we have the Prismatic Pokemon Center ETB was at 515. We got sales now at 453, 459. Got one at 420 and 425. And the Destined Rivals Pokemon Center ETB was at 560. Now 489, 475. And got one low one at 410 and one high one at 590. But again, these Pokemon Center ETBs do not sell a ton, especially on TCG Player with no pictures. You get a couple every day of Destined Rivals. Next, we got the Mega Evolution Pokemon Center ETB. This is the Lucario one. It's at 337. Now 232, 230, and another one at 220. Next, Black Bolt Pokemon Center ETB was at $300. Now last sold 290, 275, 276, 272, and 270. So just starting to drop. And we have the Team Rockets Moltres UPC. Got all the way up to $400. Now 343, 325. And a couple more at 330. Next, we have the 151 Japanese booster box. Got up to $360. I feel like people completely forgot about this. Now, last sold 305, 335, 320, a bunch at 310, a couple at 315. All right, getting into some cards. We got the Ends Reshiram, the one you actually have to pull from Journey Together. As well as that $21. Now 14, 15, and 13. And the Meowth from Phantasmal Flames. This was up to $32. Now you can pick it up for $16 or $17. And honestly, that Meowth is crazy. I love how it actually has, buildings from the actual game. One of the best illustration rares we've gotten. And like I said, $16 or $17. It just comes in a small set, Phantasmal Flames, so it's not super difficult to pull. I'm sure there's a decent amount of these on TCG Player. Listed current quantity is 1,200. And current sellers is 431. Next, we have the Drampa from Temporal Forces. This was at $39. Now last sold 27, 21, and 25. And next, we have the Misty's Lapras. Was at 43. Now 33, 30, and 29. Got one high one at 39. Next, the Riolu from Scarlet Violet base set. Remember, this card is super difficult to grade. Was at 45. Now last sold 30, 35, 32. And we got the Ralts, also from Scarlet Violet base set. Was at $55. Now last sold 43, 44, and 45. And we got the Curlia also. Was at 55. Now last sold 39, 40, and 35. Next, the Misty Psyduck was at $84. Now 59, 60, 55 for lightly played. You might as well just spend the extra $5 and get it near mint. Next, the Pikachu from 151 is at $105. Now last sold 98, 91, 85, and 80. Looks like we got one even at 77. Next, the Bulbasaur from Stellar Crown was at $140. Now last sold 101, 97. A couple more at 100 and another one at 99. Next, we have the Bulbasaur from Stellar Crown. This was at $140. Now last sold 101, 97, a bunch at 100. And we have the Squirtle, not dropping as hard, was at 135. Now last sold 115, 122, 117. And we got some SIRs. Here's the Enzoroark from Journey Together. Was at $55. Now 43, 42, and 45. And the Fezandipity from Ascended Heroes was at $75. Now 55, 54, and 62. Next, the Mega Scrafty was at $78. Now 57, 60, 59, 58. And the Mega Zorora, new one from Pitch Black, was at $167. Now last sold 61, 62, and 63. This card is sick. I did buy it when I was vending. It really, really pops. Lasted like 5 minutes in my case. Next, we have the Morpeko from Pitch Black also. Was at $200. Now 96, 94, and 93. Next, we have the Mega Lucario EX. Love this card. Was at $247. Now 193, 195, 198. So you can now get this card below $200. Next, we have the Reshiram from White Flare. Was at $220. Now last sold 195, 191, and 199. And the new Mega Darkrai SIR was at $396 on release. Now $217, $215, $225, and it's starting to slow down. So I'm not sure if it will, get much more below $200. Next, we have the Team Rockets Mewtwo from Ascended Heroes. Was at $462. Now last sold $320, $300, $299. And the Charizard from 151 was at $492. Now last sold $395, $386, $367. A couple more at $360. And this one's also starting to kind of level out and slow down. Next, we have the Team Rockets Mewtwo from Destined Rivals. Was at $568. Now, still got one random high one at $580. Otherwise, $500, $498, $478, $475, $490. Got a lightly played at $424. The card is officially below $500. Next, we got the Mega Dragonite SIR. Was at $879. Now, $634, $625. Any super low ones? Got a couple at $650. So yeah, $625 is the lowest. Next, the Mega Charizard X from Phantasmal Flames. I know a lot of people are waiting to buy this card. This is at $900. Now, $699, $535, $695. Got one at $730. A couple more at $680. Let's see if we can get this one shipped from a legit seller. $695. Honestly, not too bad. It's just kind of nice seeing it in the 600s again. I hope it drops even more and gets into the 500s. Next, we have the Bubble Mew. Was at about $1,100. Now $899, $945, $879, $950. And the Pikachu EX from Ascended, the Trikachu, was at $1,370. Now last sold $840, $850, one at $1,070, one at $899, $913, $912, $1,100. So yeah, these big cards are dropping quick. And the Mega Gengar was at $1,400. Now it last sold $970, $995. Looks like we got one high sale at $1,100, but most of the sales are, in the high 900s. And honestly, this is a little bit more realistic for pricing. I mean, brand new, modern rock cards should not be $1,500, $1,600. Like, that's just insane. Especially, they're not that difficult to pull when you actually look at everything. Especially, in normal Pokemon times when we're not in a boom. That's insane. I used to, back in the day, be excited that we would have a $100 chase card. And now we have $1,000 or $1,500 chase cards. It's just wild. Next, we got the Umbreon EX from Prismatic. Even Umbreon is dropping. Was at $1,575. Now last sold $1,400 with a picture. Another one at $1,400. Bunch in the $1,400s. Got a bunch at $1,420. So not dropping a ton. Next, we have the Mega Darkrai EX. The gold one was at $361. Now, last sold $171, $169, bunch at $170. And we have the gold Mega Greninja. Was at $321. Now, last sold $175, $167, $168. And the Mega Gardevoir. The Mega Lucario is just holding super strong right around $270. But Gardevoir was at $235. Now, $202, $203. We got one at $205 and $210. Next, we got the gold Mega Dragonite. Was at $338. Now last sold $234, $240, and $225. Next, the gold Mega Charizard X from Phantasmal Flames was at $365. Now last sold $270, $299, and a couple at $280. Next, the gold Mega Charizard Y was at $672. Now last sold $389. Someone got 9 of them at $390. A couple more at $392 and $395. Next, we have the Mega Gengar Mega Attack Rare. So this was at $90, dropped down to $57, went back up for a couple weeks, up to like $63, drop it again. Now last sold $54, $55. We got one high one at $65, but most are in the mid-50s. I know a lot of people also really want to pick this card up. And we have the Gold Giratina, still dropping, was at $430. Now, last sold $340, $339, $312. And last on the list, we have the new Chinese exclusive Sylveon. This was at $555. And now, last sold right around $396. Remember someone tried to sell me one of these for like $600 when it first came out? And I'm like, no, I'm not grabbing it. And he's like, why wouldn't you grab it? Don't you want the card? I'm like, yeah, but it just came out. It's going to come down in price. And yeah, $555 down to $396, not bad. And I think it will get down to maybe $300. That would be my guess. High 200s, low 300s. And then I'm definitely going to grab this card because one of the few Chinese exclusives that I need. But all right, That was this week's Pokemon Falling Friday. If you guys like this content, want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that like and comment if you guys want to support more. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Fanatics, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to watch my last video, Throwback Thursday, we go over the best Leaf Young cards in Pokemon history. And then, of course, if you guys want to watch any of my vending videos, I have an entire playlist above also. All right, we'll see you next time.